So this time, they say that the average is $109.09.
Pardon me, teachers, for the interruption. If there's any juniors that need picture retakes or did not get their picture taken during picture day, please come down and get your picture taken at this time, all juniors. Thank you.
How many months were they averaging out for? 5. So what you're going to do, have your calculator so you can help me. Take that times 5.
No, you don't get to talk about it. My job.
I've been telling them.
Before you were telling.
I give you one.
It's my job now.
I think a little more. Yes. Speed. Oh, amazing.
Ebersole, remember what you said at the beginning? Calculator.
I know, here pretty soon, a whole bunch of these people are going to get on my nerves enough, and I'm going to get rid of my calculators up there, and then they're going to be out of luck.
I always give mine back.
$545 and 45 cents.
545.45.
Yep.
So that's the total. That's one of the answers. B. Then if it's $545.45 total, and they give you 4 of the months, how are you going to find the other month?
Add 109.
No, wouldn't, no, I didn't think
What'd they tell you one of the months was?
August,
So how many?
all of
Oh,
them.
no, I
I
had.
added them all together.
Oh, yeah.
I read on this one.
Yeah.
I added them all
Yeah.
together.
No, I knew that.
So,
Yeah,
so
I-
add all the months together,
I added them all together, got the average of 4, and then I added the word.
add all the months together, and then subtract it from this. So in your books there, add those, how many months they give you? 4 of them? Add those 4 together
The bottom.
for number 9. 437.54. That's how much the 4 months total up to. You're looking for the 5th month, what it totaled. Well, if you know the total had to be this, then all you do is subtract those 2. What do you get? 107 point what? So, how much, for whatever this monthly expenditure is, how much did they spend in September? $107.91. Does it make sense that they spent that much in September? Yeah, it looks basically sort of like the rest of them, so. So all you're doing is doing it backwards. If you look at number 5, you added, then divided. Well, in math, if we're going backwards from that, instead of adding then dividing, if we're going backwards, you would do what? Multiply,
And subtract.
then subtract. This time you actually had to add some of them up too, right? But you could have subtracted each one off separately. Other questions?
What
16?
Yeah.
The Trevor family pays its home insurance premium quarterly. What's quarterly mean? How many times a year? 4 times a year. So they pay their home insurance quarterly. After the family made some improvements on the home, their home insurance premium went up by $65.80 for the 4th quarter. If the average quarterly home insurance premium after the increase was $163.35, what is the premium before the increase? So let's see, $163.35. That's how much they're gonna pay now for however long they keep this house or whatever. So in a year, how much are they gonna end up paying? What would we do to figure out if they're paying quarterly?
Times it by
4. Somebody do that for us.
653.40.
So that means their home insurance for a year is that now. They told you that it went up by how much?
$65.80.
We're trying to figure out what it was before, so what do we wanna do with that $65.80 or whatever it was? Subtract it, so take that number, subtract off, was it 65.80, is that right?
Yeah.
Subtract that off,
587.60.
that's how much they were paying per what?
Quarter, well, year.
Per year. They wanna know how much they have to pay each quarter before the increase. So you take that number and now instead of multiplying it by 4, you do what with it? Divide it by 4. 146.75?
I got,
Wait.
I got $146.90.
90?
Yeah, the calculator. User error.
So $146.90. So if you're looking at this, why would you want to know that? Why would you want to know how much you're paying now and how much you were paying then? See how much extra you have to do what? You got a budget each quarter, each time you pay it. So about, if this is what they're paying now, this is what they were paying, about how much extra do they need to budget to make sure that they can make their home insurance payment? About $20, somewhere around $20. So somewhere they're gonna have to work that into their budget. Might mean that Fletcher can't buy his University of the Cumberland shirt next month because he's gotta save that money.
Okay, this is my second freebie. I'm just gonna keep racking them in and I'll have to buy new clothes.
That's the way it be. Other questions? What do you think? I got up this morning and I put on this outfit and this shirt. As a matter of fact, it's probably still got a tag on it, because I could tell I'd never worn it before, and it's like 6 times too big for me. So I must have got it at the Goodwill. And these pants, I thought, well, I'll just wear those pants. Huh?
Who's got some stuff?
And these pants, I'd never worn before either.
Maybe match.
I don't know where they came from.
Oh, dude, I went to play the club yesterday. I thought that's a fact.
Other questions?
Can I see your book? Let me see your notebook.
It's the same
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So I can have questions.
It's in the back.
Go ahead.
The back.
I was on homework.
What we're gonna cover today, monthly budget still.
I didn't even write that down.
Paper up here, take one, pass them around. Just another chart, another way of doing a monthly budget.
I think I still got the hand on that one. Like a-
None of that was English.
Your fit looks good today, Mr. Ebersole.
What?
I think your fit looks good today.
Different things that go into monthly budgets. You have fixed expenses and you have annual expenses. And we want to try to hurry up and get through this. Where'd the stack go? Hayden, you still in the whole stack?
No. Missed the
Yeah,
whole
you are.
part of the room.
You wanna take one of them and pass them on?
I don't have that.
Hey, then it's on
No,
the.
those are all his, right? These?
No,
No, theirs are on his regular paper.
The silly you.
You guys.
But
Don't
I
put no
appreciate
logos
you.
on.
But you need to move your head.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Oh, pass it out. Back on that. No.
Can you
I
say
want the
please?
back.
Use your manners.
Do you have one?
Thanks for this. Appreciate it.
So fixed expenses, give me something that is a fixed expense each month.
Rent.
Rent, car payment,
Insurance.
insurance for you guys is probably a fixed thing, cause you probably pay it by the month. Not for most people. Give me something else, fixed.
House paper.
House payment,
Rent.
rent, bro, what? We've said that like 4 times now.
Yeah.
Rent, house payment,
Um,
mortgage, all of it's the same thing. Paying off some loan, maybe it's a school loan or something, who knows, whatever. Usually fixed.
Water bill.
Nope.
Now,
Absolutely not.
The whole entire loan?
This change.
sometimes, a water bill, DP&L, could it be a fixed payment?
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah, you could set it up so it's fixed, then usually work out real well all the time, we'll talk about that later on. So it could be.
Hey, sir, can I get a drink of water?
Annual expenses, give me some annual expenses.
Life insurance,
Life insurance,
property tax.
property tax, he's reading off the chart that I just passed around.
Something's cheating again.
Well, I thought you were just-
Twice in one day.
Car registration, tax.
Retirement could be,
Charity.
alright? Home insurance, car insurance, all that stuff could be. Medical insurance could be. Even though you might pay it once a month or whatever,
Did you hear that?
it's considered an annual expense. What are some expenses that aren't fixed that you're gonna have each month?
Utilities.
Netflix.
Utilities,
That was
Netflix, groceries, stuff like that?
That
Gas.
stays $10
Gas.
every
When
month.
they're raising it $15 per subscription.
Parking.
Utilities changes every month.
PlayStation.
Water.
PlayStation.
Yep.
Next month.
Clothing, gift cards.
And at some point,
Personal.
those of you who are still little kids will figure out here real soon, you know what, maybe I don't need to be on that PlayStation on the computer all the time.
Or vaping.
Maybe that
Looking at
$120 I'm spending per year might be spent better somewhere else.
I haven't played a video game in like
Hey, that costs a lot, you know, and adds up after a while.
Sometimes it's okay to sit. Like,
Yeah, come on, you know we play Fortnite with
Yes,
Ebersole?
I did, yeah, you would know
Yeah.
five.
I hate video games. I'm
Those
passionate.
good, those.
I used to.
Like,
Still here. You can get it.
I could put you in a room
And then you do the.
that didn't work
That
out.
was
so
all-
bad. You remember that lady? You remember that lady that ordered her grandma that
I'll
dishes?
take the bath.
The formulas you
She
need,
would have just drank the water.
Hannah, Ms.
the
Martin's.
formulas you need, total monthly expenses. Monthly living expenses, those are the things that aren't fixed. So gas, utilities, groceries, all that stuff. Plus your monthly fixed expenses. Rent, car payment, maybe like a credit card payment, something like that. And then the monthly share of your annual expenses. This, you have to do this first. So that is gonna give you that, and then you can add the 3 of them together to find your total monthly expenses. If you're finding, if you're, and we've done this already, if your health insurance is $12,000 a year, how do you figure out how much it is monthly? Divide it by
3 to 1. Oh, no, hold up.
monthly,
Oh, hold up, 12.
divide it by 12. All right, so that's what you're gonna be doing here. You're gonna be dividing by 12. You get those annual expenses, and you're trying to figure out your monthly budget. You're dividing each one of them by 12.
Ain't nothing money that I call myself up, gee.
Hey, quit picking your fingernails.
Uh-oh.
So if you're looking at this sheet, this is just another sheet. This is probably the best sheet that I found as far as doing a monthly budget. You got monthly living expenses underlined up here. Those are all things that could change throughout a month. So you got stuff like food, groceries, electricity, heating, all the utility stuff there. Transportation, you got gas, oil, parking, any tolls that you may have to pay, any maintenance on your automobile. Living in hillbilly heaven here, you probably not learned a whole lot about parking or tolls, because you don't have to pay to park or pay any kind of toll if you're going down a road somewhere, right? But if you get out of Preble County, every now and then, you'll figure out sometimes you gotta pay to park. If you go, some of you probably been to a sporting event or a concert where you have to pay to park.
I hate
He's
to
always
Right, some of it's ridiculous, and they're
Most
getting
of
higher.
them are, cameras now.
Personal spending, you got clothing, credit cards, gifts, pocket money. Then you got entertainment, eating out, movies, sporting events, all that stuff. And notice down here at the bottom, it's got a total. That's a total for your monthly living expenses, things that could change from month to month. Then over on this side, you got monthly fixed expenses, rent, mortgage, car loan, savings. Maybe you put $50 in a savings account each month or something, or $100 or whatever. And then there's other spaces where you could put other things in there, because there's gonna be probably a lot more stuff than just that. Then if you look underneath that, you got a total there. So you got those first two totals on the formula there. Then annual expenses, life insurance, home insurance, car insurance. And again, all of those are annual, because your bill is annual, but you probably pay, like my life insurance plan, one of the life insurance plans that I have, I pay monthly out of my check. Car insurance, you guys probably pay monthly. You don't pay it for a whole year. But if you did pay it for a whole year, it would be cheaper. We talked about that last time. Your registration and tags, just talking about that one real quick. Well, property tax, that goes through the county. If you got a homeowners, if you have a loan, the bank will do your property tax for you. They'll figure it into your mortgage amount, because they don't trust you to pay your property tax, all right? Which I don't blame them. If you buy a $200,000, if they're loaning you $200,000 on a house, and you're paying on the house, but you're not paying the property tax, and somebody comes in and is gonna put a lien on your property, it's not your house anyway, it's still the bank's house. All right? So they don't trust you to do that. They do the property tax and the homeowner's insurance and stuff, so that Hannah can't 6 months down the road say, well, I didn't pay my property tax. You guys can have the house, whatever, I don't care. The bank doesn't want that, because they loaned you $200,000 on this house. Now they gotta try to sell it for more than that so that they can make their money back. And they don't wanna do that.
I just have one of a related question. You
So
know,
they're
like,
just lazy.
people die and then the bank like takes their car.
Not lazy.
What do they do with that? Do
They
they
sell
pay
it.
them? They pay them money back for it? That's.
No, they sell it. As a matter of fact, it was the second car I ever owned, was that kind of car. Bought it from the bank.
They have
So,
like auctions or something?
sometimes they do. This one was a bank up in New Madison. They didn't have an auction. They just, put it up for sale, and I happened to see it, and I went in there and got it.
No, you can't have it.
Right.
Hail it.
Yes. Yes. Sure. Sit your back and see it. You can if you want.
I need to listen.
Yeah, you might want to finish this out and then. On this one, on your annual expenses, remember, you're gonna add those up, then you're gonna divide it by 12, because you don't want an annual expense, you want how much is it gonna cost me per month. All right? So that's gonna give you this number right here. Then you add all those up, and that's gonna, those three are gonna give you your total monthly expenses. How much are you spending per month? We sort of did this back at the very start of the year. You found your total expenses and seen if you made enough for that month to get by. That's the assignment. We got about 25 minutes. Hoping we have about a lot longer than that. Get out your books. Get out your books, piece of paper, calculators. We're gonna start doing these together. Sorry, crouching.
I want to watch cars right now, dude. Cars good.
Bro, facts.
As long as it's I don't know why it's your favorite.
The best backwards runner.
What does that mean, dude? They look like trucks.
Bro, Terminator
He's
is
a tow
He's a
truck.
tow truck. Yeah, I know.
still a truck, bro.
Big truck.
Bro, Terminator's
What kind of car
Hey,
is
is Terminator 7.3 liter a race car?
Charger? Actually?
No, he's supposed to be like a Camaro, the Solstice had a baby.
I know he's a race car, I don't know. but
It's a,
it's
it's a,
type of car.
it's a Chevy Camaro and something else put in.
Like a Saturn Solstice, is what I was thought.
Wait,
Cars.
cars.
Rounded
Do you-
like
do you not know what-
Camaro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning
Catch out.
McQueen.
Mayor. Mayor.
Yeah, you're.
Hey, can I have some Pepsi?
Mikey, you kind of look like the green car.
Hey, can I have some-
Wait,
I
the
forget his
girl?
name.
The green car is the girl. Yeah.
You mean chick?
Hey,
Yeah,
The-
chick.
The blue car, the blue car is the girl.
Yeah, you look like her. And then Dylan, you're the car that got flipped at the end of the first movie.
Yep.
I'm the one that's hoping you get
That
the
I
winner's
was
part. Yeah, I love him for the back.
Are we ready?
I love him for the back.
Mentally, no. Physically, I guess.
Just let you guys do it all on your own.
No.
Number one, calculate the monthly share of your annual expenses and find the total monthly expenses. So how much of it did they tell you is an annual expense?
4,200.
4,200. So the first thing you're going to do with that 4,200, we don't want an annual expense, we want a monthly expense, so what do we do with that?
4750.
Divide it by what?
12.
12.
350.
350? You're gonna take that answer, that's a monthly expense. What other monthly expenses did they tell you you have?
Living is 670.
You gotta pay for living, that's great.
And then a fixed is 800.
What are you gonna do with all three of those to see how much you spend in a month?
Add them up.
Add them all up.
1820.
Anybody agree with Clifton on that?
No.
I don't know if I tried or not.
It's cheap, I don't know.
Oh, bro, obviously I'm not good at guys.
This is gonna be in trouble.
No.
Hold on.
No Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you got?
Broken.
Number two. What's the annual expenses this time?
3494.04.
I had it right there, 3494.04. Those are annual expenses, so what are you gonna do with those?
Divide by 12. And it's 291.17.
$291.17. So that's, again, that's stuff like car insurance and stuff you're budgeting for, that you get a bill for a year, but you pay it monthly.
Living 475.75.
475.75.
Yeah, and then fixed is 679.65.
Teachers, for an interruption, we are going to turn off the bells as we figure out what's going on upstairs. We will make sure we announce when to go between classes, and we will be in contact if there's anything else you need to know. Thank you.
679.65.
What do you mean figure out It's America,
Yeah, can you
anything's
like shut the
possible.
door?
Yeah, can you like shut the door or something, Mr. Ebersole?
For safety.
Control my
Mason
arm.
might come up in here. and do
No,
that.
What is that? Over here,
Get down, bro.
No resistance.
It fits in. Can't lift weights.
1,446.57.
Good job, man.
Maybe they got the dogs.
I got .32.
Two times in a
Point.
month?
Is that wrong?
I got .32.
You see it?
Bro, how did you get .32?
Somebody add it up
It
again.
wasn't as bad.
291.17.
Well, yeah, no, he's right, because I put in 7.5 and only 5.
My bad.
Hold on.
Adam's right. Adam's
Don't question me. I'm always right.
right. That's it.
Whale Peter.
But I somehow got more.
Unless I disagree with you. That is so.
Then you're still wrong.
Why are you here?
Look at my
Right. 4, 4, and 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
What?
I'm trying to get the bird. I mean, like 10 of
Oh,
them.
thanks.
Like way bird on that side.
All right, where's number 3 at?
On the other day.
This whole
It's-
class says 80.
it's on
You
page
were all
20.
going 1,000,000,000 miles.
I think, that's why I'm stopping. I'm not gonna mess with this. I'll just say.
How much are the
There's
penders
like
total?
20 different conversations going
So
on.
I apologize to those of you who are actually,
I'm trying to.
are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready for sure?
Yes, I am.
Cause I'm not messing, next time I'll just stop and say, do this.
Number 3, the question is, how much are the penders total monthly living
So are we
expenses?
using the one on the next page, or?
No, it's 162, 163.
No, you don't.
So if
I
you
know.
flip,
What's going on outside?
you flip
No, it's
figure 3.3 over there on, to the left. Figure 3.3 to the left. First thing you need to do, and before we do number 3, number 4, number 5, any of those questions, first thing you need to do, go down through and figure out their total monthly living expenses. That's at the bottom left of the thing there, so you gotta total up all of those. Need several of you to do it, because I'm sure we're gonna get about 6 different answers.
I'll get
Then total of the monthly fixed expenses, and then the total of the annual expenses. So we need those 3 numbers for each one of those, so that we can have them for all the questions, 3 through whatever.
Yeah, they go for it. I repeat, those
Well, the first column is.
The column on the left is 1,161.5.
He is right.
He is right.
I know.
That,
Yes.
11.61
Yes.
Yes.
alright?
All right.
That's their living expenses, right?
Yeah.
Fixed expenses are
Fixed expenses are
$1,000 even?
Yeah, 1,000. $1,000.
all right. Annual
Annual is 1,742.
1,000 what?
1,742.
42? Question 3 now. And actually, we could do this. This is our annual expenses, but we could also find the monthly part of that. How could we find the monthly? Divide that by 12, so somebody divide that by 12.
What?
The 1742. 20?
I got 145.16.
1666667.
So, 1.6, so what are we gonna round this to?
1.7.
17
17 cents.
17 cents? Just round it up.
That is right.
Number 3, how much are the Penders' total monthly living expenses?
1,161.5. $11,650.
So that's that answer right there. So number 3 is this answer. 1161.50. Number 4, so I don't have to keep looking back at my book.
What is the total of their monthly fixed expenses? 1,000.
1,000. Number 5.
What is the total of their annual expenses? 1,742.
And then number 6 is 145.17.
The monthly thing?
Yep.
So we divide that by 12 and you get 145.17.
And then total monthly expenses, you just add all of that together. right?
So which ones do we add?
Living, fixed.
Living, fixed, and,
This annual, 1742?
Yeah.
yeah, no,
No, the monthly?
The monthly.
all right.
So we want, how much per month do they have to earn to live?
It's gonna be $2,306.77.
How, what?
That's 2306.
$2,306 and
67 cents.
And 67.
67 cents.
I did annual, not the monthly.
It's number 8, ask us.
Do the penders live within their monthly net income?
How can we figure that out? Somewhere on that chart, it
There's
tells
a
you.
budget, $2,600.
It tells you their net income, doesn't it?
Net income total budget, $2,600.
So $2,600 is what they bring in per
Yeah.
month. They send out
2306.
2306.67. So do they live within their
Yes.
monthly income?
Do we just put yes?
Yeah, you just put yes. Now, when you're cutting it that close, couple $100, that doesn't leave a whole lot for
Well, food and groceries was a.
savings and
Well, food and
other
groceries.
things come up.
Food and groceries was on the living expenses and all that.
Yeah,
Dining
but-
out, they did like
But you could be
$140
surprised
for
what
dining
dining
out.
What?
You never know what's
Yeah.
gonna change. They tell you that
I'm
you should
still
have,
broke for a reason.
you should have $5,000 to $10,000 in the bank at any time for any kind of emergencies. I mean, you're only staying $200 under what you make, it's gonna be hard to gather up $10,000.
We still have 9 to do.
None.
What individual expenses would the penders find difficult to cut back? So what things can you not cut back on when you're doing something like this
Household
budget?
expenses,
fixed.
car loan.
The car loan,
The fixed expenses.
all right, some of the fixed expenses, car loan, rent, mortgage. Probably not gonna go to your landlord or to the bank and say, hey, I can't pay the $900, can we cut it back to $750 or something? They're probably gonna say, yeah, we can cut it back to 0, get your little A out of my house.
All right, so now, what are you gonna do? Just leave us with 11 to 23?
Number 11.
Number 11.
11, what percent of the vendors?
Total monthly net income are the monthly living expenses, which is the monthly share.
All right, so the first part, we want the percent that the living expenses are of their total net income. How you gonna figure out what percentage this is of that? What operation do you do?
You can add them all together, divide it by how many there is, and calculate it.
Sort of. If I say you got $10 in your pocket and you spend 5 of it,
That's for
that's 50%. What did you do to go from the numbers 5 and 10 to get to 50%?
Subtract.
Took half of
What operation?
it, divide.
Division. So all you're gonna do here is you're gonna take each one of these and divide it by their total. So on this one, 1161.50 divided by the 2,600. And it's going,
0.0446.
so it gives you 044 something, 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 right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
44%.
is it point oh?
I got
No,
point
0.44.
Yeah, it's 0.4.
All right. So 0.44, so that's about what?
4
44%. How are we gonna figure out what percentage their fixed is?
You divide it, you do 1,000 divided by 26.
Same thing, 1,000 divided by 2,600,
And it's,
0.38.
38%.
0.38, which is 38%. I think those are, is that the first two they asked you?
Yeah, that's for 3 years
Annual expenses.
So living expenses, annual expenses, then it says, what is the monthly share of the, so we also want to do this one.
Yeah.
So 145.17 divided by 2,600. 0.05,
Yeah.
so about 5%.
All right, that's 12.
That's not the answer.
Total your 3% and analyze the result. So you total all three.
So total all three of those.
87.
87 is the total percentage.
Yeah.
So what's that telling you? Explain that to me.
It's 87% of how much your total is that you're spending.
So they spend
87% of their total.
87%. Explain what else that tells us.
You're spending a lot, a little,
They have how much back?
about $300.
13% that they don't spend. Right, I think if you go on to some website where they tell you, different kinds of economic things,
So what's the answer for number 11?
all of that.
What?
Spend 87% and then have 13 if they don't spend.
So if you go onto some economic website, they tell you that you'd like to have between 20 and 25% of your salary or of your income that you don't spend per month for emergency stuff and extra stuff like we're doing right now where all prices are going way up and your income's not going up. Rest of them is yours.